So many things. Where to begin? Oh my gosh. What would I tell Becca 5 years ago?
Becca, first of all,
Hello.
congratulations. There's a lot to congratulate you on, but we'll start with the
Thank
podcast,
you.
of course.
Thank you.
You've been doing happy hour for a while now. What has been the biggest learning lesson for you as a podcast host?
Ooh, the biggest learning lesson for me personally is just to see all sides of a conversation. I typically am one who, it's probably not a surprise to anyone. I love to talk and listen to my voice for far too long. So it's been fun and definitely a lesson for me to be more direct, take a step back and just listen to the other person, listen to other points of view. And that's been something that has been really fun for the past 2 years. We've encountered so many different people and conversations that I never ever expected to have. And so I just go into each interview, keeping an open mind, ready to ask the questions, and also just kind of veering towards whatever way the conversation goes.
What is a goal for you, either personally or you and Michelle, that you would like to accomplish on the podcast, a dream guest, or just anything on those lines?
Well, so Michelle and I are definitely still finding our rhythm together. She is still pretty new on happy hour, but so far it's been so much fun. I would just love to see her get more comfortable and dive right in and just feel like she can take the reins, whenever I'm gone. And that's something that my past co-host Rachel taught me is, I will prep you enough to get to where you need to be. And so I hope I could be that for Michelle one day. But it's just been so much fun with her. We've never recapped a season together yet. So this upcoming season of The Bachelor will be the first that we've done together. And so that'll be fun because we're coming, from a podcast standpoint, and we're the ones who are going to be interviewing all of the guests, but we also lived through it and we have firsthand experience of what it feels like to be a contestant and to be a lead and to really be able to feel like we were in everybody's shoes and to give some insight from that standpoint, which anyone else hosting a podcast hasn't necessarily been able to do. And so it'll be fun and new and exciting for us to finally get into the new season together.
Do you have any predictions for Gabby and Rachel's journey based on we've seen some of the guys, maybe you've heard something? Do you have any predictions on what we're going to see?
This is going to sound terrible, but I truly have not looked into anything for the season yet. I haven't even read cast bios. I know nothing. I'm going in completely blind, which I actually am really looking forward to because usually I know some tidbits are behind the scenes, but I have no idea what to expect. All I can hope for is that both women found partners. Both women are in a happy, healthy, loving, committed relationship. Whether they're engaged or not, I truly have no idea, but I just hope for the best outcome for both of them. And that's to find love, and what the show is created for is to find a partnership. And so I hope that they both have that. And it seems, which has been what I have seen from those two, is that they seem like they've built such a good friendship and solid foundation together as two women, which I think is very special. And so I hope that we see that solidarity between the two of them throughout the new season.
Well, we know you're in love. You're engaged. Congratulations.
Thank you.
And I saw it's been 1 year since you guys started dating on Paradise, or around 1 year. What has been the biggest thing that you've learned about Thomas in the past year, and what makes this relationship different?
Oh my gosh, I keep learning stuff about him. It's like any relationship, I would hope to learn something new about my partner and just keep falling more and more in love. But Thomas always keeps me on my toes. He is truly the most adventurous, fun, easygoing man. But what I think makes this relationship different with him is that he's really the one person who our values and our morals align. And so yes, we're engaged, and we've talked about what our marriage will look like and what a future with kids will look like and how we want our family dynamic to be. But he's the first guy who's really been on the same page with me of how we want to raise our kids, what morals and values do we want to instill in them. And I feel like not only between the two of us, but with our families, it's that same way too, which is really special. And so we have such a great support system behind us. But yeah, he's the first guy that I'm like, we're on the same page. Like, of course, that's not to say we'll have different discussions of differences, but Yeah, I just love him so much. He's the first guy too that I'm like, I actually want to spend my entire life with you. I want to start planning the wedding. I want to do all of the things. Where in the past I'm like, I don't know if it's necessarily for me, but we'll see.
I love that. You obviously had an unconventional, as we're calling it, proposal. You proposed. Mm-hmm. Are we going to see unconventional stuff at the wedding, and perhaps maybe an unconventional ring when you know, I know he has probably something up his sleeve as he's teased.
I mean, yeah, I'm not one to shy away from tradition and switch up the quote unquote norms in society, but we'll definitely probably have a little bit of a different wedding. We know we just want it to be fun because so many people will be coming in from out of state. So we probably will just have a ton of food trucks and a ton of games and make it a big party atmosphere. We won't have the traditional seated plated dinner with the speeches and, you know, all of that. I don't know if I'll throw a bouquet. We probably won't do a garter toss, you know, like we want to just switch it up and do things that feel right and special for us, but that will also be meaningful and just offer the best time for our guests as well.
Okay. What would you tell the Becca going into Ari's season of The Bachelorette Bachelor, if you could talk to her now?
So many things. Where to begin? Oh my gosh, what would I tell Becca 5 years ago? I would say, you know, because going in, I had no idea what to expect. It was all so new to me, but just to ask potential partners the right direct questions, to know what is important for you going into any future relationship and really be vocal about that. And also, like, take your time and don't necessarily say yes to an engagement on TV if it doesn't feel 100% right. But, you know, overall, looking back throughout the past 5 years since I went on The Bachelor, I really have no regrets. I mean, everything taught me a lesson, whether it was easy or not. And it all led me to this point. And so I really wouldn't necessarily change anything along the way because I wouldn't be where I am today. I wouldn't have gone on to Paradise. I wouldn't have met Thomas. And so just to enjoy the ride.
Yeah. Well, you also became the first lead post, you know, being the Bachelorette to be on the beach. Has any lead come to you? You can say names or not names and ask, should I go be the next lead to do that on Paradise?
No, they actually have not. And I'm not surprised. It was a very daunting thing. And even for me, it wasn't something that I was planning on doing. And I said no to it for so long. So if they were to come to me, I would definitely try to give advice and just to help them figure it out. But I feel like once people kind of get out of the lead role, they're a little bit over filming for a little bit. They want their own time and space, which I totally understand. And so everyone has different wants and goals in life. And at that point, it just worked out for me because I was single and I did still want to find a partner. And so it worked out for me in the best way, but that's not everyone's case. And so, yeah.
Okay. Well, I'll let you go, but we're playing Real or Rumor with everyone. And your one question is, you've joked about your Neil Lane ring graveyard before. Is that true that you have to give the ring back? Where are your rings, Becca?
Okay, well, I didn't joke about my kneeling ring graveyard. The show has one from all of the failed engagements. But I mean, after the first engagement, when Ari broke up with me, I gave it back to him right there on television. So right. I don't know what the show got that one back. Yeah, and then mine from my season is somewhere in the house. I haven't looked at it in over a year, but I still have it. It's around. I don't know what to do with it. Probably sage it, but yeah. So.
All right. Well, thank you, Becca, and congratulations again on all your success and the engagement.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Good to see you.
You too.
Hey everyone, I'm Christina Garibaldi, the host of Us Weekly Celebrity Coverage. Don't forget to hit subscribe for the latest celebrity news, tips, and video. And for much more content, make sure you head on over to usmagazine.com, the official home of Us Weekly magazine.